General Patton's veterans of Tunisia make for the southwest. Units of Canadians, Australians, and French are taking part in the attack. Naval guns cover the landing. Tons of supplies and equipment are ferried ashore. At many points, troops waded in, surprised to find much less resistance than expected.
Once again, J76NY here, and we're back with Nickel Company. Lieutenants Wilson, Dearborn, Stern, and this guy, Thompson, and Jay, if he's back from his third or fourth wounding. Last mission, we did a minor victory, and I think it was a minor victory for the mission, too. So we've got 16 prestige, 29 loyalty. We've got a bunch of casualties we have to replace. So we're going to have to spend our stuff wisely. They do have combat fatigue as well. 3 prestige, 1 replenishment. 1 replenishment, 25 XP. I don't think I even have enough to give them any XP here. All right, so we'll go through. And do that. We've only got 7, so we're going to have to, I'm going to do 2 here. 2 here. I can't even replace all. Oops, I guess I'm doing 3 there. And then what can we do here? 2 loyalty, 2 prestige. So we can do that. And then actually give them a little bit of experience here. I don't think I can do any more with anybody else. Here we can increase your XP. What about you? We can reduce the stress. That would be 2 loyalty. There we go. Probably do that with you as well. So that's 2 loyalty, 2 prestige for that, and then get rid of their stress. I'm just trying to get them some experience here. You did pretty good, so 10 loyalty. We'll go for that. And then some experience for you. Experience for you. And I really think that's about all I can do. Yeah. Yep. All right. So we didn't get rid of all of our casualties. Seems to be a lot less than what there was a minute ago. But we are going to move on here. So I think this is episode number 12 of Burden of Command. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I am enjoying the campaign. Has its ups and downs, but it is an appealing game to play. So we're going to see what the game has in store for us next.
Some folks these days will tell you the Italians had no fighting. Trust me, those folks are wrong.
I guess so, Sergeant Grant. It's the 10th of July, 1943, 2000 hours. The sun dips as Nickel Company marches down the road. Rifle cracks out and breaks up the rhythm of the Truscott Trot again. Once more, the men leap into dusty ditches, rifles leveled at every suspicious shadow in an olive grove or lump in a field. But nothing comes of it this time. The Italians are retreating faster than the Cottonbalers can chase. Wish they'd just fight us. Where are they going? It's an island. It's like the road to Casablanca all over again. Another day in Sicilian paradise. Prisoners dribble back towards the beach. The wounded are paired with the lucky. As the sun dips down, the order finally arrives from battalion. Halt and dig in. Counterattack expected. You send runners to pass along the change in orders. Once word has come, you head out to personally review each platoon's position and how they'll support one another. By nightfall of D-Day, July 10th, the 7th Army was firmly established on Sicily. Only in the center was there cause for any immediate concern. I guess that's probably going to be where we are. And this stemmed largely from the failure of the airborne drop. Okay. Hurry up and wait, Lieutenant Stern grumbles as he inspects the machine guns he has covering the road. The regulation's 10 yards apart. Like that parched little road to Casablanca all over again. That's not what I said, Lieutenant Stern. This is the Army way. It'll be nice, warm night at least. Casablanca was better defended and we still took it. Alright. Aw, shucks, sir. I thought Morocco turned out great. Morris drawls in an overly pronounced southern accent as he and the rest of the 1st platoon dig in besides the machine guns. Except for the sand, the fleas, and getting shot at by the French, it was paradise. Our captain would agree. It's hard not to grin at that. He's just upset about the beach landing, Patterson replies as he watches the sun sink behind the western hills. See, 1st Battalion got to land first and have their pick of the pillboxes, left or right. Everybody laughs. You note Lieutenant Thompson as he mixes among the platoon, chatting and listening in turn to each. His eyes go wide when he sees you looking at him. Anxiously, he hustles over. All set here, Captain. 1st platoon is, well, they used to be yours, right? I mean, before, Captain Lamb got popped. Begin to earn my glory pay before the first invasion. Yes, I believe that was before, and he knows the answer. Some things you don't have to say, some things are obvious. Well, Captain, Thompson replies ably, I just want you to know that I am looking after your men as best I can. Keep an eye on Roberts, he can be unlucky. Discourage Thompson. No additional positive or negative effects for 1st platoon. Morris and Patterson are alright, but only in small doses. Additional positive or negative effects unlocked for 1st platoon. Look after them and listen to your sergeant. Thompson gains 5 trust and 3 initial suppression. They're your men. Lead them. Listen to your sergeant, who I believe is Sergeant Grant. Right, Captain. They sure do seem to know what the men want. Lieutenant Thompson says, though you can tell he accepts this wisdom reluctantly. Anything else, Captain? I imagine you have company matters to attend to. He's right about that, even with Lieutenant McGuire recently attached as your XO, helping out with the logistics, it is still hard to run a company during combat operation. This is an overlay of the American positions as of late July 10th. Okay. Alright, I'm just reading this over here, see if... Yeah, alright. Checking in on Wilson and his crew. attempt recon. Stride over and see what Stern is upset about. Remove negative ammunition events. Return to Nickel Company's command post. Captain gains morale or reduced combat fatigue. Removes negative ammunition events. Or attempt a recon. I'm going to go with the negative ammunition. You find Stern by the shallow scrapes of his platoon's mortar pit, staring frustratingly at a pitiful small pile of rounds. All the ammunition his platoon could carry off the beach. Captain, Stern begins before you can get in a word, it's not enough. We need a truck or a jeep to haul enough ammo to make a difference. Remove negative ammunition events. I'll get to it, Lieutenant. Thanks, Cap. If we don't have enough ammo, then we're just riflemen in disguise. He's not wrong. The gunners carry carbines, but that's not their specialty. Before you can reply, Corporal Jackson, your company runner, races up. Lieutenant Colonel Heinges. Yep. Is it the CP, Captain? You leave Stern to the ammunition. Right now, you can advocate for much more. Amid the dying light of the day, you find Lieutenant Colonel Heinges. If anyone wants to correct me on the pronunciation of that so I don't keep slaughtering it, go ahead. Already at the command post, he's not alone either. There's a busted-up enemy machine gun at Nichols' armorer, Tech Sergeant Arthur. The two peer down at the long metal strip dotted with cartridges, an Italian ammo clip, which is why they oil the cartridges and not the chamber. Oh, a real guy in charge of a real battalion, which I'm a part of. The glory of crappy Italian machine guns. We've got a lot of Italian gear laying around. Know thy enemy. An army on the retreat sheds gear like a duck in rain. Yes, sir, and that oil gets it bad. Like wax and honey, which leads to it jamming, all because these charging clips. The Italians are braver than I thought. I hope your time with the men was well spent. This is a Breda 6.5 millimeter light machine gun that proved itself to be crappy. 20-round charging clip, often made of cardboard. Seems like a bad idea, and was subject to numerous failures. Okay. And that just quickly overheats. Which, when you're using cardboard for your guns, is probably not a good thing. Your commander stands and fishes an oil-stained map out of his pocket. He points at the town on it, circled in heavy pencil. Palma de Montechiaro. The Italians hold it for now. Tomorrow at 0430, 3rd Battalion, less your company, will swing in through these hills to the south, while elements of the 1st Battalion flank them from the north. Once both battalions make contact, Nickel will push through the town with the eventual objective of getting astride the road to Agrigento. Cutting off the retreat, putting all the Italians in the sack, kicking the door down on this whole flank, my company could get chopped up. I foresee a lot of casualties. Palma de Montechiaro. Montechiaro! Pizza. Sorry. Put all the Italians in the sack. If we can. Do you have any questions? Well, yeah. Can I see the map for one? Will we have artillery? Not much. Most of what we have will be committed to the attack in the south. After all, if we don't drive them out of those hills there isn't much point in taking the town because we won't hold it long. What else? Reinforcements? Armor? Nope. 2nd Battalion has first call on those given the enemy counterattacks they've been facing. We've got a few jeeps with machine guns, but even those will probably be useful for ammo runs and ferrying the wounded back to the beach. I've had a lot of stragglers gain 2 mediocre squads. What about the Rangers? Ooh. Gain 1 well-trained squad, not Rangers. What about the Italians? We could... An anti-tank gun. Wow, they're not making this choice easy for me. A squad or an anti-tank gun? I wonder what the chances are that there's going to be armor here. If I go with the anti-tank gun and there's no armor, it was a waste. So I think I'm going to rule that one out, unless this says something different. Nope. I could get 2 crappy squads or a good squad. I don't know what to do. Numbers? Strength in numbers? Even if they're crappy? Well-trained squad. Quality over quantity. We'll go with that. Captain Boston is keen for action, but not for this. And to be honest, our men can handle a little Italian town. Still, let me see if we've got a different provisional unit at hand. God knows they've been proliferating recently. Anything else? I know we'll need more mortar rounds. Aha, here we go. I'll have some brought up. We'll stockpile them with battalion and bring the rounds forward as needed. Given that you won't have anything bigger, I'll expect you need every one. What else? A barrel of hot coffee on the Jeep. Small positive event unlocked. A little black strap coffee to go with the men's cold breakfast. Absolutely. This guy looks fucking thrilled. Company coffee? Seriously? That's what they call this? Northern Ireland. Alright, company coffee. Lieutenant Colonel departs. You get in touch with your counterparts in the other companies, hashing out lines of advance, mortar concentrations, and other dreary but necessary details. Some 20-odd American stragglers are brought over before midnight, some of them stinking of the local vintage. They aren't too happy doing anything but going to sleep. Preparations continue. Night. Fitful sleep. The harsh sun blares down, but the ground beneath your bare feet is cool. Somewhere in the distance, artillery booms, and the acrid scent of cordite mixes with the stench of death. It is all too familiar as the figure that steps near. As is the figure that steps near. Remember. Okay, Spock. Remember. I know you. Captain Lamb. Isn't he dead? I guess not. It's good to see you again, even if this is must be brief. At least let us hope it is brief. There is sorrow in his eyes and blood on his jacket. I'm going to wait for him to speak. You've been through a lot, and that lot isn't over, Captain Lamb says, and invites you to sit on the rocky outcropping. The stone there is uncomfortable, but your legs thank you for it anyway. Everyone takes it different. What's the worst part for you? Sometimes my orders don't matter. Good men die and keep dying. That somehow this war isn't over yet. It's just getting started, man. I can do everything right and still lose. A lot of my men go home feet first. Good men keep dying. That's the curse of it. A lot of good fellas die because of a few bad ones, and that didn't start in 33, but at some point they'll run out of steam if you don't let up, because they're counting on you doing just that. The weight of it all looms over you. What's wrong with me? How do I handle this? Handle it like others have. You ain't the first, you won't be the last, but here's the trouble. What you need, you can't have. You're bleeding from your mind and from your soul. For you to heal, you need time to sort things out, but the war won't wait. The best you can do is slap on a bandage and try not to reopen old wounds. Well, I've got 3 or 4 of them to pick from. Old wounds are all I've got. Scars on scars. When I got my commission, my father took me aside and told me how proud he was, that I was going to continue the family tradition. At least you're alive. See, back in his day, he was an artilleryman and fought in France against the Germans. He directed a fire mission and got the numbers all wrong. Oops. Hope he regretted it. It's kind of a dick thing to say. I'll just listen. A 7 might scrawl like a 1 or a 3 bend towards an 8. Doesn't take much to get something wrong, and it didn't. He couldn't change what had happened. Dead men stay dead. The crippled didn't walk. The blind didn't see. He tried to make peace with it. Couldn't. Shouldn't. Bent himself trying to make sure it didn't happen again. That kept him going. And it kept me going, too, trying to lift his shadow. So, what's going to keep you going? My replacement would do worse. If I give up, even more men will die. The longer the war drags on, the worse it will be. I'll do better somehow. If I give up, even more men will die. The men will be led by another captain, who may not know his left from his right. And the men won't go forward how he wants. The waking world intrudes. I miss you. Salute. Combat fatigue minus 60. Sweet. He returns to the gesture of the last flourish that is short and sharp, even as the dream begins to fade. Oh, so he is dead. His ghost came and talked to me in my dreams. That's mighty handy. See that? Alright. Oh. An explosion, far too close, jars you wide awake. Somehow we're outside along the road, a fire burns. As you get up from your little cot, First Sergeant Grant pauses at the tent flap. Something hit a mine down the road, Captain. Looks like one of ours. Probably our mortar rounds. The flames are snuffed out by the time you approach a small crowd of GIs. Their small hand flashlights fitted with red filters to dim the glow dance about the silhouette of a smoking Jeep. The driver and passenger miraculously sitting upright in a hole on the roadside are tended by medics. First Sergeant Grant leaves the recovery crew to throw a handful of dirt onto any sudden flare of flames and hurries back over. Could be worse, there's coffee all over. Miracle that the mortar rounds in the trailer, I told you, didn't go off, but everyone's still talking. One of them in full-on Italian, if you can believe it. Get the men dispersed, or have the wounded treated. Didn't seem to be any wounded. Get the men dispersed. First Sergeant Grant gives orders to the enlisted men in a hissing whisper, and they quickly return to their units. Thankfully, the enemy is not on the ball, or else doesn't want to reveal their artillery position. The medics hustle the wounded off to where you direct, your own tent. There's a lot of stumbling about in the dark to be done until you can get the flap closed up tight. When you turn on the lantern, you find a bloodied lieutenant and a grinning Sicilian farmer who could be his brother. Thanks, boss, the officer says in a thick Bronx accent. Close one. I was not expecting this, not at all. Well, this is a curveball. Alright, start talking. I don't have the time to talk. Just spill it. Skip ahead. I'm Ignacio Camara, 2nd Lieutenant, 7th Infantry, 3rd Battalion translator, and this, well, boss, Fabiano here knows Palma de Montechiaro. Huh. Lieutenant Camara explains. Okay. He says there are blackguards, bad men in the town, militia, machine guns, but no mortars or artillery that he saw. They've dug entrenchments right through his fields. All seems in order. With a nod, you leave them to their recovery. All right, so we've got militia with machine guns. All right, secure the town center. Suffer no more than moderate casualties. All right. Palma di Montechiaro, July 11th, 1943. Now these maps keep getting bigger and bigger. More condensed. Looks like these guys here. Yeah, they got a trench line going right here. What are we up against here? Tertiary objective. Tertiary objective, primary objective. All right. Secondary objective. Well. And we've got machine guns. Enemy. All right, machine gun. Need in portrait subfolder. All right, so we got 2 rifle squads. Are these my guys? Second squad. No, that's enemy. It says enemy. Dumbass. These are not my guys. They can't be my guys. Enemy. Yep. All right, couple machine guns. Wonder if we can do recon by fire. It'd be nice to know if there's anything over here. But first, I think I want to suppress, do some suppression here. All right, so we can get, they can see up here. But not out here. So it looks like we've got a little leeway until they can actually see us. What about these guys? Oh, they can see over here. They can see all these hexes right here. But apparently not down here. What about you? Yeah, they can. Can they see right along their front? They can. But not up into here. Okay. Who do we have over here? We've got an MG squad. We can hit them, not them, or them. Can't hit them. What's this? Call in artillery or air support. Leader press. Recon by fire. Wow, that sucks. It's worse than the other one. All right. And our mortars are here. So I'm assuming we could fire on these guys. No spotter line of sight. Okay. But if I move him up, he'll definitely be seen. That's a chance he may have to take. First thing first, though, seems we can suppress them. Might as well.
Fire!
They're surprised. All right. Let's get you... Does he have line of sight from here? Here, but not here. All right. Let's get you up here. Yep, and they got troops out this way too. Uh-oh. He bolstered. We lost someone. Taking fire from here too. All right. Here's my mortars. I moved them out with a machine gun squad. That's... Oops. Can these guys suppress them? Probably not. This is Dearborn's squad. Really? Alright, which way do I want Dearborn to go? He could probably come over here.
Pick up your feet!
Damn, they're everywhere. Dearborn's only got one more order. Nope, they decided not to. This is Dearborn's squad as well. Captain J, you're going to command them to move forward. They got good... I don't want to put them right in... Yeah, let's get them over here. Mortar squad, I want you to move up as well. All right. Yeah, let's get Wilson up. I'm going to have him, have him creep. Oh, maybe not. All right, let's bolster here.
Let's go!
Oh, look at that. It's going to put him right out in the middle of everything.
Tug those boondockers on.
All right. They're going to pass right through all of this. Blocked line of sight. If we can take that position, might be too far. What's that say? Too far. Right. Can't creep now. The fighting continues before Palma de Montechiaro. Bullets zip in the distance as Lieutenant Wilson advances with a steady application of firepower, hosing down each enemy position in turn. When 2nd Platoon reaches the enemy trenches, several Italian squads break and recoil into the city. White flags appear in windows and doorways. A strange silence falls. Moments later, an older man in a black civilian suit steps forward, his hands raised. "Please stop shooting," he calls out across in the thickly accented but passable English. His words are amplified by several men repeating them. "Your way, I bring a message from the commander of the garrison. He's willing to discuss surrender, so long as he may do so to an officer." Have Centurione Ricci come out. Who are you? "I have the honor to be the mayor of Palma de Montechiaro." Okay. Why must it be an officer? Pride. Have him come out. A figure in a heavy greatcoat steps out from a nearby building with an expression of distinct unease. There's a pistol in his side, but no rifle or carbine. Ain't he supposed to have a flag? Send an officer over to take the surrender. Prestige +1, officer will gain 10 experience. They're just stalling for time. Oh, well, I mean, it's possible. We'll send someone over. Each of your 4 officers is looking your way. Wilson knows how this is done and won't make mistakes, and choosing him would demonstrate that he's made the transition from NCO to officer in full. Dearborn would no doubt love to add this moment to his service jacket and maybe wash away some of his anger at you following events last year at Cape Fidala. Stern could use a lesson in the rules of war and demonstrate to his gunners. Thompson, blah, blah, blah. Wilson knows the drill. 10 experience, 10 experience, 10 experience. I'm going to send Wilson. Wilson thumps over to you, Captain. Go and accept their surrender. We'll do you proud. Wilson and his first squad cross the gap between the entrenchments and the town. The Italian officer removes his pistol from his holster. Wilson moves to take the weapon. Uh-oh. It was a ruse. Yeah, uh-oh is right. He fires from the hip once, twice, 3 times. Blood flies as Wilson staggers back. His carbine barks, the rounds taking the Italian officer in the neck. An answering volley erupts from the windows and doorways, tearing chunks out of Wilson until he collapses in a bloody mess. In moments, the entire squad drops like a sack of grain, wounded or dead. Seriously? Oh, you dicks. He's not even up here anymore. Oh, that's his replacement. Wow. Fuck you. What about me? Did I... Oh, that's... What? Where the hell is Wilson? Oh, the acting lieutenant's back here. So they're all fucked now. Machine gun squad. Can you open up on them? You can. What about them? Or them? We're going to hit them. Wow, that sucks. And now we got to get these guys across the field. They don't have any line of sight up here, but these guys over here do. I think. Oh, they don't. Okay, guess where you're going. Whoops. I want both of them. Oh. First Sergeant Grant screams at the top of his lungs in disbelief that becomes rage as he empties his carbine at the enemy. There will be blood. Seize all objectives. The men, vengeance. Oh, fantastic. Love it. But I think we're going to call the episode right here. We'll get into the bloodthirsty killing of the Italian dastardly bastards in the next episode here. I hope Wilson lives. He was pretty good. Maybe I shouldn't have trusted the Italians. Maybe we could level the whole city. I don't know. That'd be something. The Germans in World War I had a term for it. I don't remember what it was, though, but they'd go in and if they were taking fire from houses, they would just say, everyone's a collaborator. They'd kill them all and burn down their villages. So we'll see if we can channel our inner German, I guess. It's probably not going to happen, and I'm just talking out my ass, but we'll see what happens in the next episode. Anyway, if you like this one, hit the like button. If you have any thoughts, tips, or advice, leave those in the comment section down below. If you want to follow along through Burden of Command, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you as we take the fight to the Italians. J76NY saying thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a very good day.